sister told me I should thank her for letting me save her life. I'm 34, and my sister Meg is 29. 5 years ago, she was dying from kidney disease, and I gave her one of mine without even thinking about it. She's my little sister, and I would have done anything to save her life. The surgery went fine for her, and within 6 months, she was back to living normally, like nothing ever happened. I wasn't so lucky. About a year after the donation, I started having problems, constant exhaustion no matter how much I slept, pain in my side that would flare up out of nowhere and make it hard to move. My doctor said my body was struggling to adjust and it might get better with time, but it's been 5 years and it hasn't gotten better. I've been on medication ever since, and the medical bills have been piling up the entire time. Last year, my insurance changed, and suddenly none of my medications or specialist visits were covered anymore. I was teaching full-time, but the bills kept growing faster than I could pay them. I started coming home from work so exhausted, I'd collapse on the couch and fall asleep at 7 in the evening. I'd wake up at 6 in the morning, still tired. My principal called me in twice about my performance slipping, and I knew I couldn't keep going like this. I had to cut back to part-time just to function, and within months, I was 2 months behind on rent. I sold my car and started taking 2 buses to get to work. The commute took an hour and a half each way, and by the time I got home, I was too exhausted to make real food. My credit cards maxed out from medical bills. I stopped turning on the heat to save money. Then I got the eviction notice taped to my door, and I realized Meg was my only option. She's a pharmaceutical rep making 6 figures and living downtown in a building with a doorman. I called her on a Tuesday night and tried to keep my voice steady when I asked if she could lend me $2,000 to catch up on rent. She said, "I'm busy. Can I call you back?" I said of course, and spent the next 3 days jumping every time my phone made a sound. Nothing. Friday morning I called again and she said, "I'm swamped at work and haven't had time to think about it." I told her I really needed to know because the eviction was serious. She sighed and said she'd get back to me. Another week crawled by and my landlord left a message saying he was changing the locks on Monday if I didn't pay. I texted Meg 4 times over the weekend. She read every message but didn't respond. By Sunday night, I couldn't take it anymore. I borrowed my friend's car and drove to her apartment because I had nowhere else to turn and I was running out of time. I sat in the parking lot for 10 minutes before I could make myself go inside because I felt like I was begging and I hated it. She answered the door in workout clothes and didn't invite me in right away. When she finally let me in, I sat on her couch and told her I was about to lose my apartment and I really needed an answer. She crossed her arms and said, "I've been thinking about it and I don't feel comfortable lending you money because I'm not sure you can pay it back." I told her I wouldn't be in this situation if I hadn't donated my kidney and couldn't work full time anymore. Her face changed and she said, "That's not my fault. Nobody forced you to donate." I asked if she was serious. She said, "Completely serious. You made a choice 5 years ago and you need to deal with the consequences." I felt my throat get tight. I told her I made that choice because she was dying and I love her. She rolled her eyes. "That was your decision and it's manipulative to throw it in my face now." I asked how it was manipulative to mention I gave her my kidney and ruined my health to save her life. She stood up and her voice got louder. She said, "You didn't ruin your health. You're being dramatic. Lots of people donate kidneys and they're fine. So if you're having problems, that's just bad luck and not my responsibility." My hands started shaking and I asked if she was really going to let me end up on the street after everything I did for her. That's when she said it. She looked right at me and said, "You should be grateful I gave you the opportunity to save my life. Most people go their whole lives without getting to be a hero and feel important, and I gave you that gift. The experience of saving someone's life is worth more than any amount of money. You gotta feel special and heroic because of me, and now you're trying to make me feel guilty about it. I didn't ask you to donate, and if you're having regrets, that's your problem. You're holding the donation over my head like I owe you something, and it's honestly pretty sick." I didn't say anything else because there was nothing left to say. I walked out and got back in my friend's car and sat there for probably 20 minutes before I could drive. I lost my apartment the next day, and I've been sleeping on couches ever since. The scar on my side where they cut me open aches every single morning when I wake up.